What's happening, guys? We're back again for another show post North London derby. Arsenal, the victors yesterday, beating pathetic Spurs 2-1. Let's have a quick recap on the game. Pretty much the same team that got knocked out by Manchester United. No, it wasn't actually the same team, actually. Mikel Arteta made some changes in the midfield. Partey came in, Declan Rice with Partey, that sort of double pivot. Odegaard in his usual number 10 attacking midfield role. And he actually started Sterling. Sterling's first start under Arsenal. He started on the right-hand side. And there was Trossard on the left instead of Martinelli, and Havertz up front with that usual back four: Timber, Gabriel, Saliba, and Lewis Skelly, and Raya in goal. Spurs, they had the usual front three of Solanke, Kulusevski and Son, Basuma and Sarr in midfield, and the young boy, who I forgot his name, and the back four, you had Pora at right back, but the back four was pretty much decimated because of all the injuries that they have, and the goalkeeper looked very, very shaky, a new goalkeeper there. So, onto the game. Arsenal were pretty much dominant from the first to the last whistle. They were pretty much dominant. They were relentless. They were at it. I don't know whether to give Arsenal credit or whether to just highlight how poor this Spurs team actually is. Now, there's a couple of points that I want to go through. Sterling, he started off looking bright, but it's clear to see that Sterling is not fit. I don't know what's going on there. That whole loan thing was a massive error. I mean, you're paying 125 grand a week of Sterling's, Chelsea's wages. Why didn't you just get Osimhen and pay his wages? Why not just do that? Instead of wasting money and time with Sterling. He played decent. He had little bright moments, but he's a spent force. He's just not at the level that he was at Liverpool and Manchester City. He's clearly not fit. He's clearly overweight, and but he looked bright. He looked bright. Havertz, he looks completely devoid of confidence. He looks completely devoid of any confidence. He's not a striker. He's a shadow striker, false number 9. But looking at him yesterday, he looked devoid of any confidence. Trossard, before the goal, Trossard was lively. He was lively, but I have to say, that little turn, and he gave Porro the turn, and Porro just slipped over. Then he had to fake injury. That was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful from Trossard. The little shimmy turn puts Porro on his arse, and then Porro has to fake injury. Midfield, completely dominated by Partey, Declan Rice, and Odegaard. The back four just looked solid. Spurs were just so shit. They were just so shit. I have to give a special shout out to Thomas Partey, who I thought he was my player of the match. He's fantastic. He's been Arsenal's best player all season. And hopefully he can stay fit, because we're going to need him. We're going to need Thomas Partey, because he's been Arsenal's best player all season. His touch, his technique, he's able to play those passes through the lines. He's able to play, those defence splitting passes, but he can also keep it simple, 1-2s, play it short. He's the all around midfielder, Thomas Partey. And my mate said to me, Gazzy, big shout out, that he's playing for a contract. Well, listen, if he's playing for a contract and he's able to get Arsenal over the line for the Premier League or a Champions League or both, then more power to him. He should earn a new 1-year extension if that's good enough for him, because we have, apparently we're going to sign Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, but if Partey leaves, we're going to need another midfielder, because Odegaard, Rice, Moreno, and Zubimendi, that's only 4. If Partey leaves, that you're gonna need another body in there, because Partey's quality, and a midfielder of Partey's quality, you're looking at another 50 million. So Arsenal need to invest. They need to invest, or they need to give Partey a new contract. What do I think? I think that if you can find a younger alternative to Partey, go and get that player. That would have been Onana, but he's gone to Villa. But there are players out there that can maybe fill the void that Thomas Partey is going to need, that's going to leave if he goes. But Zubimendi is not a Partey replacement. He's just another piece of the puzzle that we need in there, because we need more quality in that midfield area. To be honest, we should have scored more goals. 2-1 flattered Spurs. It should have been about 4-5, to be honest. But again, Odegaard was wasteful. Havertz was wasteful. Looks completely void of confidence. The Trossard goal was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. The little finish to the far corner. Beautiful there for Trossard. Beautiful from Trossard. But I want to move on to Spurs. I've bigged up Arsenal enough. And also, big shout out to Gabriel, who the defending, the warrior, and Lewis Skelly, the young boy from Hell End, 18 years old, absolutely beautiful, fantastic. Did we even need Calafiori? Lewis Skelly, absolute player, another star boy, our new star boy, fantastic player. And when he's coming off, he's giving it all of that to the beautiful. He knows what it means. He's an Arsenal boy. He's an Arsenal fan. He's just out there, just living his dreams, and absolutely fantastic. But we have to move on now to Spurs, and I'm not trying to dig anyone out here. Big shout out to my boy Rob. It was his birthday yesterday, so big shout out to you, my bro. Big shout out to you. Happy birthday. But listen, your team is shit. Spurs look to me like they're fighting a relegation battle. Now, if Manchester United beat Southampton, Spurs go down to 14th place. That is bad. Bad. Now, I know injuries. I know we've lost Saka for the season. We've lost Gabriel Jesus for the season. Spurs are decimated by injuries, but nonetheless, you've spent over 800 million. 800 million in the last 4 or 5 seasons with different managers. And I actually want to put this out there. This is the facts. Your last 2 managers before Ange Postecoglou came in to situ, your last 2 managers, Nuno Espirito Santo and Antonio Conte, they're both in their own right leading their clubs in title challenges. Nuno at Nottingham Forest and Conte at Napoli, they are both leading their teams in title challenges this season. That must put things in perspective. Now, the video's there of me saying that Ange Postecoglou is not the answer, that Ange Postecoglou is a rubbish, he's a shit manager. And I've been proved correct in this. I'm not always correct. I thought that Spurs were going to beat Arsenal. I predicted that Spurs were going to beat Arsenal. And how happy I am to be wrong. Because I ain't that scum. But Ange Postecoglou is completely inept. Even with a full squad. Spurs are going to be 14th. And this just shows you the power of the media and the narrative. If this was Ten Hag with Manchester United, everyone would be on him. Sky Sports, all the media, all the press, the fans, everyone banter. There'd be memes all over. But because it's Ange Postecoglou and he seems to be liked by the media, and Tottenham as a whole, as a club, seem to be liked by the media, and there's a different narrative around Postecoglou, Spurs, than there is around Manchester United and Ten Hag when he was there. They were the kicking boys. They were the banter club. He was the most hated manager in the world. But damn, he didn't or wasn't doing as badly as Tottenham are doing now under this current manager, Ange Postecoglou. If Manchester United win tonight, they will be 14th in a relegation fight. Absolutely pathetic. And it just shows you, when the media like you, they like you. They're not going to stick the knife in. They're not going to get onto you too much. But Paul Ten Hag was hounded out of the club despite his success. 2 trophies, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, better than Mikel Arteta. But Ange Postecoglou, it's okay. Blame Daniel Levy. He hasn't been backed, even though he has been backed. He's got injuries, even though Man United and Ten Hag had injuries. It's the narrative. It's the power of the narrative. We need to sometimes see things for what they are. Postecoglou is absolutely shit. He is not a manager. He never was a good manager. Winning at Celtic is nothing. It is nothing. It doesn't give you any sort of grounds to stand on to say that you're going to come into the Premier League and be successful. No. And the sooner Spurs sack him, the better. But you know what? As an Arsenal fan, it's funny to see Spurs in this position because, listen, do you know what? Keep him. So he can be battling Ipswich to see who's going to survive in the Premier League. Spurs are still in the Carabao Cup. They're not going to win that. They're in the Europa League. They're not going to win that. And then in the FA Cup, they're not going to win that. I'm sure when Liverpool at home are going to smash them. There's too many strong teams in Europe and FA Cup. I just don't see Spurs winning that trophy. So it's going to be another trophyless season for Ange Postecoglou and for Spurs. But they were so bad. And to be honest with you, I don't think it was the case of Arsenal being good. My boy Lee sent me a message on Instagram saying if Arsenal came up against better teams, they would have been exposed. Yes, my bro, 100% correct. That performance did cover up the cracks. But there's still cracks. Because Arsenal just ain't that good. So, and Spurs are just that bad. So listen, it's good to beat Spurs, banter, bragging rights, but let's keep our feet on the ground. Let's not get delusional. Let's keep our feet on the ground. Let's be realistic. And let's see things for what they are. Arsenal beat a relegation battling Spurs team who is absolutely toothless and awful. And a better team could have done us over. Because that game covered over the cracks. Yes, we should be happy. But we should have smashed them. We should have won that game. And I don't think the team deserves much credit. I don't think the manager deserves much credit. I don't think it was an amazing performance to say Arsenal, we've turned a corner. Listen, we're 4 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand. Liverpool's starting to look a little bit shaky. Hopefully we can put a run together. But this is why it is massively important for Arsenal to sign a forward, to sign more specifically a striker, a number 9. The Isaac things, just forget about it. It's not going to happen. Duran from Aston Villa, I don't think they'll sell to us. I don't think, stop talking about it. It's not going to happen. What is feasible? Vlahovic apparently said no. Sesko, that's not going to happen. What is feasible is Victor Gyökeres, because he has a buyout clause, and Victor Osimhen. Sign one of those 2 bags, man. I lean more towards Osimhen. He's more my preference. But sign one of those 2 bags, man, to get us over the line, and to actually be there battling it out Liverpool for the Premier League title and trying to win the Champions League, the first in our history. Get a bags, man. If it's gonna cost you 90 million, get it done. Pull one of your summer targets forward to now, to the January window, and get a bags, man. Pay the money, because Premier Leagues, you're not going to care about the 90, 100 million if we've got our hands on that Premier League title comes the end of the season. No one's going to care. But if you do not do it, or you go and get some cheap option or a loan, or some side dish, some side man, everyone's going to say, well, Arsenal are 4 points behind Liverpool. They had an opportunity to strengthen and they didn't do it. What is that going to show? Lack of ambition. Get a bags, man. Victor Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen, and let's try and get over the line this season. Because from where I'm standing, if Mikel Arteta and Arsenal don't win a trophy, and there's only 2 left, well, we could beat Newcastle. We could have a gargantuan turnaround and beat Newcastle at St James's Park and go in to the final of the Carabao Cup. But I don't think that's likely. But yeah, we've got 3 trophies left, 2.5. If Arsenal don't win one of them trophies and Arteta, it's a failure. It's a failure and he should be sacked. That's what I think. There's an opportunity now. Go and do the business. Move like a big club. And let's see what happens come the end of the season. We have an opportunity now. Arsenal's next game is Villa at home. Villa winning 1-0 against Everton away yesterday. Ollie Watkins scoring the only goal in that. Now that's going to be a test. Villa, Arsenal, that's going to be a test. They're going to be up for it. Emery's going to be up for it. If we're going to keep up the heat with Liverpool, we have to win that game. We can't afford to be dropping points, especially at home, drawing, losing. We have to win that game. And I'm going to bring you my preview to that game tomorrow. So that's going to end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment so we can get that dialogue going and get those debates going. All that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for the next one. Peace and love, guys.